Hello, today we are going to be talking about the project we worked on called Untapped, which aims to utilize Ohio State's biggest untapped resource on campus, the students. So hello, my name is Sylvia. I'm a third year in mechanical engineering, and I'm going to be talking about our problem.
Hello, I'm Dorothy Nye. I'm a second year material science engineer, and I'll be presenting our solution.
I'm Colin. I'm a third year operations management major, and I'll be talking about how we plan to use the living lab.
So what is the problem? As we discussed the future of energy and mobility throughout this sprint, we developed 6 pillars, and our team decided to focus on the pillars of accountability and accessibility/engagement. So one big problem in our world is how do we achieve carbon neutrality and with what resources, especially on a college campus? And we believe that one resource that has been overlooked is people, and specifically students on campus. So students have untapped potential to generate energy through daily activities on campus, but currently do not due to a lack of infrastructure and active engagement. So we made our own survey and sent it out to students and found that students gave OSU a rating of 2 out of 5 for their current green energy efforts on campus. And so while students aren't happy with the efforts, 100% of them said they would be interested in helping to generate green energy on campus. So you can see that there's kind of this disconnect between students and the current green energy efforts. So how do we tap into this potential and get students connected with green energy? So first, we wanted to start with an activity that many students on campus already do, which is work out at the RPAC, which is our big gym here on campus. And then we also wanted to incentivize students to kind of get them more involved and farther understand how they behave and what motivates them. So why do we want to focus on the RPAC? We found that it's a highly frequented area, and it's also a very energy intensive building. It involves already energy generating tasks like working out. And the idea is that we're going to be generating energy where it's already being consumed. So overall, we'll hopefully have less losses in our energy system. So we found that 1.9 million people a year visit the RPAC. So you can see that there's a lot of foot traffic and a lot of people that are already using the gym. And from our student survey, we found that students go to the gym about 2 days a week and most of them spend about an hour or more of time at the gym. So students are spending a lot of time at the gym too, so there's a lot of energy potential. And then by looking at different buildings' energy usage on campus, we actually found that the RPAC uses quite a bit of energy comparatively to other buildings. So there's also a lot of room to offset this energy to achieve carbon neutrality.
So what is Untapped and why is this our solution? To begin with, Untapped will be a mobile app that every student can download. Untapped will track energy generation from the gym equipment as students work out in real time. And by offering real-time data and providing easy access to these statistics, we will develop green energy awareness amongst the students. Currently on the market, there is gym equipment that will generate energy. Some examples are shown here on the slide. We have a treadmill, elliptical, and bike. However, the present technology is not extremely efficient. So by 2050, we will create more efficient machines. And this also leads to research opportunities for students. We'll strive to optimize the energy generation process, and it can be done by utilizing excess heat, generating electricity through activities such as weightlifting, and installing kinetic floor tiles where there is the most foot traffic. By integrating our solutions one segment at a time, we will eventually have a closed loop system and a future where the RPAC, one of the most energy extensive buildings on campus, becomes a net zero energy building. Untapped will track which pieces of gym equipment students are using and automatically log in the energy generated. This makes it easy for students to participate and the data collected can be analyzed. In addition, Untapped will have a reward-based system to promote involvement and a healthy lifestyle among students. By offering rewards, Untapped encourages students to get involved with the energy generation process. By tracking energy generation, we are promoting awareness, and students will most likely think more about their own energy consumption as well as energy production. As indicated in the survey, students are already interested in helping generate green energy on campus. Untapped is the gateway to action for students.
So how are we going to utilize the living laboratory? Well, as we created the idea for Untapped, we made a few key assumptions and were left with many questions. We assumed that student behavior would not change with the implementation of new equipment and that there are predictable energy patterns in the RPAC. Our questions are mainly focused on how students engage with workout equipment, the RPAC, and energy. For example, what incentivizes students? How do students work out? How do students use the RPAC? We also want to know about the RPAC itself, including its energy patterns and potential for this new technology. The Living Lab will help us test our assumptions and answer these questions. There are a series of experiments that would help us assess the feasibility and direction of Untapped. Observational studies of the existing RPAC environment would help us understand how students use machinery and the facility. Energy audits would also show us how energy moves through the RPAC. The data for these studies could be collected through infrared sensors, object tracking cameras, time studies, or the Untapped app. A digital twin and other simulations would then allow us to overlay existing patterns and behaviors with the proposed technology and equipment. And from these simulations, we would know what would work and what might not. Then we would move into small-scale implementation, where we would introduce a few pieces of equipment at a time to get real-world feedback and validate the results of our simulations. After success at that stage, we would then continue to iterate through the process, making modifications, implementing new energy technologies, and scaling the solutions that really do work for our campus environment. Through co-creation, experimentation, exploration, and evaluation, the Living Lab will help us learn more about how students interact with the RPAC and how they can be utilized in the generation of green energy on campus. We believe Untapped will make green energy more accessible to students, will engage our campus community in the journey to carbon neutrality, and will set a precedent for other large universities. Thank you for your time and help throughout this sprint. We really enjoyed it. Now we're going to show you a little bit about the resources that we use throughout this sprint. First up, we have all the links that we use to collect information about energy usage on campus and the different technologies that could possibly be implemented. And then lastly, we have, well, not lastly, oh my goodness, this is our Google survey that we sent out to students so that we could understand how people that are on campus now are engaging with green energy and what they might be interested in moving forward. Lastly, we have our Miro board. So this is what we worked on over the last few weeks in our weekly Tuesday sprints. This is how we just kind of organized our ideas and came to a final solution that we believed would work for our campus. And lastly, this is our team.